It's the new push mower I was talking about. My dad found it a few weeks ago, brought it home. I think it has potential. It's incredibly easy to push. Like, even for not having self-propelled, I'd rather it not, because that thing's annoying. It's pretty much all put together pretty nicely. Only problem is the housing for the air filter's gone. You need to order a new one for this kind of engine. I'm not sure what model this is. Because without that, that's what's holding the carburetor on. You can see the bolt there. It needs that in between. And so if I tried to run this thing, it would probably start leaking gas from here. I have the actual filter and the cover for it, just not the housing, not the thing that holds it on. Well, yeah. What I found interesting about this was, however, it is a throttle. And it doesn't have a primer bulb as much as it has this. It's a valve. It's a fuel shutoff. And the governor looks pretty cool too. It's like, just give it some revs. If you can find that piece, then this thing has potential. I'm pretty sure it runs. It would be nice to use. Overhead valve too. We haven't had one yet until now. Awesome. Moving on. That still needs to be scrapped. It's a shame, it was pretty decent looking. Shafts rusted after I took the pulley off. But sadly, I don't want to use this anymore. I kind of wasted my time on it. I think the only good thing on this now is probably the steering wheel and the tires. But I'm not even going to bother taking the steering wheel off. The issues I was having with the transmission, I can get it into all these gears, but I can't get it into reverse. There was a bit of an issue with that when we first got it, but I managed to get it into reverse. The seat's terrible. It's all ripped up and falling apart. This keeps coming off. I suppose I could use the belt for something. Well, other than that, I could just take the wheels off, keep those, or maybe just the tires, and then take the rest of this down to the curb, see if anyone else feels like messing with it. Clutch still loose. But really, I have no more use for this. It's a shame. It was nice. I wish I would have had interest in this earlier. I probably could have saved the engine. Then again, when we got it, I was just a little kid. Little kid. That's our regular push mower. That's also a Craftsman. Self-propelled. The front wheels are a bit worn down from that, but hey, it's been having some trouble with getting it started. And, well, not so much keeping it running, but starting it up. Needs probably a new primer bulb. Might need to clean up that carburetor and get a new filter and see if it's getting a decent spark every couple of strokes, or every couple of cycles. That sounds like the problem. Here's what we have of that filter for the Honda engine. That's just the cover. Don't have the other piece. Gonna have to find it online or something. Here's the battery for the Craftsman. Ooh, it's gotten higher than I last checked it. That's at least what I'm happy about. It's actually getting charged. It was earlier this morning I checked it. It was at 5. Looks like it's up to 8 now. Awesome. Maybe I can get this thing charged, or enough for just at least a turnover and make sure the electronics or the electrical stuff is still working. I'll let it go for just a little while. Here's the Craftsman. This is what I want those tires off the blue one for, the LT8. These are flat. I don't think they'll ever hold air. There's more of the rusted up deck. That definitely has to come off now. I'm seeing more of the trouble with it. Looks like the pulleys look bad too. Oh god, Mosquito City. A lot of this is flaking off, it looks like. There's the opposed twin. I know I won't be able to get this running because there's no, besides there not being any gas in the tank, I can't get that choke out and I can't get that throttle off. It's all got to be oiled or something, because it's all stuck. Which sucks. Hopefully if these aren't too rusted, I'm looking down there at that starter. I'm afraid it's not going to be able to turn, because probably the rust is going to ground out the, or it's not going to be able to make a good connection. This clutch at least moves, but it stays stuck in place. I can't wait till it starts getting colder because I want these mosquitoes to go away. They love it back here. And I don't see this getting into the backyard anytime soon until that last piece of the fence comes down and gets replaced. We need a bigger gate. This thing will not go through. I don't like the steering wheel either because it's like a softer plastic, but at least it's not like super soft, cheap stuff. Same for the dash. I don't like that it's plastic, but whatever. I love the seat though, because it's in so much better condition. It's got springs. Kind of rusty underneath, but I don't see that falling apart soon. I checked underneath here to see if if this acted like an oil pan, just had a deeper end, but it doesn't, so I'm pretty certain that there's no gas in there. That's the other thing, there's no gas. I love that it's a 5-speed, and I can get it into reverse. Hey. Okay. So yeah. I tried steering it, but it was slipping because it's incredibly stiff. The actual gear was slipping, so I don't want to strip that out. It's a giant brick in the front. At least the rear tires still hold air. Cool. Well, I got as far as putting the key in. The battery's charged. But nothing. Which tells me that it's probably not getting a good connection. I even tried using the battery charger to try and turn the engine over. Nothing. So that tells me, well, like I said, bad connections. But anyway, I figured I'd start working on other stuff on it. I got the hood off and took the air filter cover off and took the air filter out, only to find that the foam around it is falling apart right in my hands. It's disgusting. Little bugs living in it, little spiders. I'm going to clean them out right now, actually. So it's probably a good thing I didn't try to turn it over. It probably would have sucked all this junk in. It's just nasty. I don't know how that all got in there. So yeah, I'm a bit disappointed, but I guess I'll just keep working on it, see how far I can get. Well, I got as far as trying to take the whole top cover off, but I only got as far as taking this one off on that side, because I wanted, the side cover. I want to get this whole top cover off so I can take a look underneath all this junk. Unfortunately, I need to have the tools back, so I had to put everything back together. Kind of a smart thing to do compared to what I did with the blue one. So, yeah. I guess that's it for today. That hood is actually pretty neat how it's all put on. Easy to put back on. I only have to fasten the 2 screws on each side. I don't have to do anything to this end. I thought I'd have to. Alright, I guess that's it. That is it. I almost got it running. I started messing around with this earlier today, and what I did was I kind of somewhat cleaned out the carburetor. The float bowl was pretty dirty, so I cleaned that out. And I had fun. Like, I never had experience with overhead cam or overhead valve motors before. I tried taking the valve cover off. I got to the point of prying it off with a claw hammer, and I had fun realizing what happens when you do that. The fun of being a tactile learner instead of looking it up and finding out what happens. Ha. I know where to find the. There's a part for the air filter assembly on Sears. We can order that. At first, I wanted to make sure this thing runs, and yeah, it does. I got some washers, which I spilled over there, and I put them in place so that it would fasten the carburetor closer to the block. So, hang on. It's got to run out of memory. Let me get me another card. As I was saying, I put in washers over here to compensate for the amount of room left by the bolts for the air filter housing. I spilled them over there. I got it running for a little bit. Let's see if I can get it running again. That's what happens. I can't keep it running constantly. I'll have to keep the choke off next time. Oh well. Battery's dying, so I guess until I get new batteries put in, I'll get a video of the rest of the stuff I'm doing. Yeah, it's not getting sufficient fuel mixture. And I can't, I really don't want to work on it anymore. Next on my list right now is probably to, besides put this stuff away, I'm going to get those tires off that blue one in the back there and put them on that silver one. because they actually hold a decent amount of air. Because I wanted to be able to move when my dad gets that last piece of the fence taken down. We can roll it in here. I can work on it in the backyard, probably over the fall or winter. So yeah, I guess that's it for this update.